This is the 2022 Tesla Model S Plaid. Long story short, it is the quickest accelerating four-door production car in the history of the automobile. But is it any good? Let's find out. In 2013, we named the Tesla Model S our MotorTrend Car of the Year. It was revolutionary, we liked it a whole bunch, and we noticed it was very quick in a straight line because of electric torque. But that car was rear-wheel drive and just had one motor. Then Tesla released a dual motor version of the car. There was one that had ridiculous mode, then there was ludicrous mode, then there was ludicrous plus, and if you're not familiar with the Spaceballs joke, the quickest you can go is Plaid. Now, it used to be that the Model S was the only game in town when it came to fully baked, full-size, four-door electric vehicles. However, the landscape has changed. Mercedes just launched their first big electric four-door. It's called the Mercedes EQS, and it's basically an electric S-Class, and it's gonna compete with less powerful versions of this thing. Porsche, they make an electric vehicle called the Taycan. It's got four doors. There's a really quick one called the Turbo S, and there's a new upstart startup car maker right here in California called Lucid Motors, founded by the chief engineer of the Model S, and they are getting ready to launch their first vehicle, a big four-door called the Air, and the Dream Edition is going to be a direct competitor to this thing. However, until they're all on sale and on the market and in customers' hands, Plaid here is king. As far as the design goes, for a car that's over 8 years old, I think the Model S is holding up rather well. In fact, I've been looking at prototypes of this car for over 12 years. It looks nice. Now, it's not as radical and revolutionary as the car itself is, and I think when it first came out, they didn't want to spook people. They didn't want to make it look too weird. You might remember that the original ones used to have a big black grill up there, which is just a fake little shield thing because there is no engine to cool. Tesla got rid of it with a redesign. This is their signature front end. I think it works, and this is a difficult car to critique because, you know, it's just one of those shapes that's good. Coming down the side, huge wheels, but they work. This is actually a rear-facing camera, but this little container for it works as a design element. It breaks up this big fender area here. Great dash-to-axle ratio, classy, simple line work. There's really nothing bad to say. It's actually a hatchback. There's this horrible trend in cars now where you make things look like a hatchback, but they actually have a trunk, like the Tesla Model 3. It's really a hatch, so it's just a good design. And you know, Tesla's head of design, Franz von Holhausen, he's a really good designer. You know, he did the Pontiac Solstice, which was gorgeous, the third gen Miata, and this. So at times, he can be really, really good. He also did the Tesla Model X. So now we're inside the Model S Plaid, and it's actually changed a lot more than the exterior of the vehicle over time. The biggest obvious difference is there's no steering wheel, there's a yoke. Are they yoking? Apparently they think it's kind of funny, but no, really, there is no steering wheel. At least it's heated. Also, this giant screen used to be like this in the portrait format. Now it's landscape. They've removed all the stocks. The Model S originally came with a bunch of Mercedes switchgear. They've gotten rid of most of it. Look, honestly, we could do a 30-minute video on all the stuff that Tesla offers. Just want to show you, of course, some of the cooler stuff. So this is entertainment. I can play video games, and you would use this and the thumb things as your controls. Then, of course, you know, the greatest feature in the history of the automobile. I mean, I really can't think of a better feature in a car. As far as the rest of the interior goes, lots of leather. In fact, it's not really leather, it's actually the fake vegan leather-like material. And look, a lot of people that are interested in not burning gasoline are also interested in not slaughtering animals. I get that. Feels pretty good. How do you keep a white interior clean? Good luck. There's a little bit of carbon fiber, and then that's it as far as the actual design goes. 2 cup holders, a place for some stuff. You can put your phones here to charge. That's about it. It's a big, full-size luxury car. Lots of room in the back seat. Fold those seats down, and because it's a hatchback, there's tons of room. It's almost a station wagon back there. Performance. Are you sitting down? One motor in the front, two in the rear, 1,020 horsepower, 1,050 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, 2.07 seconds. That's nuts. Now you might be saying, whoa, I heard on the internet that it does 0 to 60 in 1.99 seconds. Yeah, on something called VHT. That's a drag strip, that's a prepared surface. And we went ahead and tested it on a drag strip, and guess what? We got 0 to 60 in 1.98 seconds, which means it's only less than 1/10 of a second slower on the street than it is on a drag strip. That's double nuts. It does a 1/4 mile in 9.34 seconds at over 152 miles per hour. If it wasn't for that pesky Croatian hypercar, the Rimac Navara, this would be the quickest accelerating thing in the history of the world. I should point out that the Plaid costs about $2.3 million less than the Navara. Well, what about handling? Well, it does a 23.5 second lap around our figure 8 course, which puts it on par with, say, a Shelby GT350, meaning it's very good. However, you only get about 2 laps before the tires go because Plaid here weighs over 4,800 pounds. Why so heavy? Big batteries. Safety, it's complicated. You might remember when the Model S came out, there was a big deal made about how safe it was. It was breaking the crash test equipment, which I don't really think actually happened, but it did get a 5-star crash rating, and it maintains that rating to this day. As far as other safety features, yeah, look, it's got pretty much everything, including autopilot, which is a clever, a bit cynical marketing name for what amounts to fancy cruise control, which you should only use when you're in the driver's seat, eyes on the road, and holding the yoke. The problem is, and we've all seen these videos of people riding around in the back seats of their Tesla because, hey, I have autopilot, even though it doesn't drive itself. So that's really dangerous. So I think the price of having a clever marketing name like autopilot makes the Model S a little less safe than it really is. How much? A little inside baseball for you. Tesla recently inexplicably got rid of their PR department, and that means that car journalists like me, we cannot communicate with the company anymore. I bring that up because when this script was written, this car cost $119,000, and then just the other day, out of the blue, poof, it now costs $129,000. How much will it cost tomorrow? We don't know. As tested, this car is $149,000, actually a little over that, which sounds like a lot until you remember that its only real competitor, the upcoming Lucid Air Dream Edition, begins at $169,000. Also, 1/4 mile in 9.34 seconds, 150K, that's a bargain. If there's one thing I want you to know about the 2022 Tesla Model S Plaid, it's that it's quick. It is ferociously, hysterically quick. I remember the ludicrous one, hitting 60 miles an hour in 2.28 seconds. It was almost painful. 2.07? That's pain. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. However, I feel strongly that the future of the automobile is fun. That's really why you're gonna buy this car over that car. And being able to beat almost every single other car on the road in a drag race doesn't get much more fun than that. Plus, it's not burning gas, it's good to look at, it's fun to drive, the interior is just techie and cool. Really, $130,000, $150,000 as it sits, what's not to love? To check out our latest vehicle rankings, go to motortrend.com/cars.